Hello everybody, and welcome to my new Let's Play of A Golden Wake. And you probably have never heard of this game before. Well, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I've played the whole Ben Jordan series, which is a good series. Well, this is made by these same guys. And this is the first that they actually, did commercially, I guess, so you actually pay for it. The other ones were free to play, but they did a little bit of higher budget on this one, and it was worth it, because this is, in my opinion, it's a good game. I'm not sure if it'll be for everybody, because it is very different. This is more or less a work of historical fiction. Think of sort of how, in Assassin's Creed, how you play a character and you interact with real characters from history. Well, this is sort of the same thing. This takes place somewhere between 1920 and 1930. It takes place over the course of a few years. And it is, strangely enough, about the real estate boom in Florida and the creation of the town of Coral Gables. Yeah, it doesn't sound exciting, but trust me, it's a good game. I have always been a fan of historical fiction. That's why I've liked authors like Irving Stone, James Michener, that kind of thing. And I think this game is really interesting, so I really do hope you like it. Before I begin, I'll let you know that this game has achievements. Now, I won't show these achievements off. I've gotten them all, but some of them are kind of spoilery. But I'll let you know when an achievement is available. There's also a designer commentary. Now, I'm not going to show off commentary per se, but if you turn this on, then it'll show like a whole bunch of different tabs you can press on for different scenes that show not only commentary from the creator of the game, but also historical facts, commentary from the person who did the music, as well as bloopers. I do want to show off the historical commentary on some of these things, so I will be turning this on every so often. Anyway, that's all I really have to say. There's nothing left to do but get into it. Let's start a new game. This game is a work of fiction set in 1920s Miami. Although it features some historical characters, locations, and events, it should not be taken as an accurate representation of historical fact, and I can't read all of it in time. You got the gist.
Well, Alfie, old boy, looks like it's another day, another dollar.
Let me just say, first of all, I love the guy who does the voice of Alfie Banks. He does a really good job.
Murderer uses telephone to lure victim. Get your newspapers here. Only 5
So this works as a
cents.
regular point and click. You can right-click to look at things, left-click to interact. That's Lyle, the newsboy. He usually stands around during the day selling papers, and is good for a quick chat now and then.
Good morning, Mr. Banks.
Good morning, Lyle.
Now you see the character portraits. One of the commentaries, Francisco Gonzalez, the creator, he was saying that he was going to do moving portraits to where they kind of lip sync with the work, but it was kind of pixelated and didn't work very well, so he made a more sort of HD, better detailed portraits, and I think they work really well, even though they don't have moving lips. I really like them.
Aren't you cold standing out here in this weather?
A little, but I have to work. Otherwise, I'll be cold and hungry.
So yeah, this is definitely reminiscent of the artwork from Ben Jordan.
So, what's the news of the day?
I could tell you all of it, but then I wouldn't make any money, would I? If you want the news, buy yourself a paper. They're only a nickel.
You're a shrewd businessman, Lyle. Ever thought about going into real estate?
No, sir.
Have a good day, Lyle.
You too, Mr. Banks.
So when you're done conversing, when you've exhausted all topics, then you'll automatically get out of the conversation.
New York Tribune.
And this is where inventory
5
would be if we
cents.
had any, but we do not right now. And settings is where you can turn on the designer
Hello
commentary.
and welcome to the A Golden Wake.
Yeah. That's where he kind of introduces it. And so let's see some history.
Though not seen in this story, Carl Fisher was an important figure during the 1920s Florida land boom. He was most famous for developing Miami Beach, after having built a road called Dixie Highway which went down into Florida. Fisher was undeniably one of the biggest promoters of the Florida land boom. One of Fisher's smartest marketing moves was purchasing a large billboard in Times Square in the winter, which read, "It's June in Miami." The sight of sunny beaches against the contrast of the winter snow was probably a motivating factor for many people in New York to go down to Florida. Fisher lost most of his money in the stock market crash of 1929, and personally considered himself to be a failure. He spent the remainder of his days living in a small cottage in Miami Beach.
Alright, and he's, like I said, there's commentary, bloopers, commentary from the guy who wrote the music, who did an excellent job.
Papers!
let's,
Get your papers here!
turn that off.
5 cents per copy!
And let's go to work. But yeah, when you can click on something, you'll see it highlighted down the bottom where you can click on. Morrison Banks Real Estate Sales, da-da-da. Company co-founded by your father and your employer for the past 10 years. So yeah, why are we in New York when this game takes place in Miami? Well, we'll find out.
Morning, fellas. What's the good word?
Good morning, Banks.
Morning, Banks.
Horse feathers. Why is it so hot in here?
Morris apparently has a chill. He set the heating on as high as it goes this morning. Suggs and I had to prop the door open so we didn't sweat to death.
We must be raking in a fair amount this month if he can afford to do that.
Yikes. Alright.
I sure wish that kid outside would pipe down.
I know what you mean, Larry. He's giving me a headache.
And as you can see, we can access inventory. And anyway, let's talk to our co-workers here. Larry Suggs has been working for Morrison Banks for the past 6 years. He's not a bad salesman, but something about his demeanor always rubbed you the wrong way.
Suggs.
Yeah, Banks?
How are you today, Suggs?
I can't really complain. Well, I mean, I could complain, but who would listen?
How are your sales going this week?
And not so great. I had a sweet old lady yesterday who was this close to buying an apartment for her cat.
I'm sure things will pick up.
And I'm sure you'd know, being Morris's right hand and all.
Now, Suggs, that's hardly fair. You know we're all equal in here.
You're right. Forget I said anything.
I'll just let you get back to it.
Thanks.
Okay, you seem to be a bit jealous. Oh yeah, something else I was wanting to say. This is actually not the good Let's Play I was planning to do. There's another one that was gifted to me by a friend, another game, but I can't seem to find a way to get it into windowed mode, and that's the only real way to get it to record. So I don't know what to do. I've tried several things, and I can't seem to get it into a window, and the only other thing I could do is to buy a completely different recording program, but I don't want to do that. So hopefully I can figure something out. If you have any experience with that kind of thing, you know, getting games into a window that just won't, because it's an older game, but not old enough that it plays in Scum or DOSBox or anything. So I don't know. Yeah, if you have any experience, just let me know, and maybe you can help. John Murphy is the longest-serving employee at Morrison Banks. Having been here for 15 years, he is incredibly straight-laced to the point where you can't recall ever having seen him smile.
Got a minute, Murphy?
Sure, but I'm still on the clock.
Oh, it's just a minute.
Everything going all right with you, Murphy?
Yep, everything's copacetic.
Alright.
Sales going okay for you?
Could be a lot worse. Could be a lot better, too. You ever going to share your good fortune with us, Banks?
What do you mean?
You always seem to manage to get the best leads. That's pretty lucky, don't you think?
I'm not sure I like what you're implying, Murphy.
Not implying, just observing. Anyway, let's drop it.
I'll let you get back to
Geez,
work.
this guy too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, Banks, Morris wanted to see you. Said it was important.
Thanks for letting me know when I walked in, Suggs.
Hey, it's been a busy morning. It must have slipped my mind.
Don't really like this Suggs character. Anyway, yeah. Throughout the game, there will be like artwork on the walls that you can look at. Apparently, Francisco Gonzalez, like on Twitter with a few other artists, they would have like a quick draw day where they would have an hour to just draw like some random portrait, and most of these things that you see were done by them just from that little fun competition. Anyway, let's go to see Morris.
Good morning, Evan. Suggs said you wanted to see me?
Have a seat, Alfie.
This doesn't seem like a conversation that's going to be pleasant.
I'm afraid it isn't. You know I'm not the type to beat around the bush, so here's the long and the short of it. We're not doing well. Sales are minimal and the competition is popping up all over town like a bad rash. I hate to do it, but we're going to have to let someone go.
I see. Who did you have in mind?
That's mainly why I asked to see you, Alfie. You have more contact with Suggs and Murphy, so I think this decision should be yours.
Well, I'm kind of on the spot here, but...
Now, this is sort of introducing a little something about this game, that you actually can make decisions. Now, decisions don't make a huge impact on the game, but they do change things here and there. This won't actually change much of anything, really, but it just sort of shows you what you can do. You're often put on the spot to make a decision. I really don't like Suggs. Murphy's worked here for a while, so he's kind of, paid his due. He's earned his keep. Let's fire Suggs.
I think Suggs should be the one let go. His sales have been the lowest consistently for the past 3 months.
Very well, if that's what you think, then I trust your judgment. Thank you for your help, Alfie. It's always appreciated.
Anything else you need?
Not at the moment. Go ahead and check the assignment board in the break room for today's leads.
Will do.
Alright, and there's some more art. Evan Morris, co-founder of Morris & Banks, along with your late father, Hiram. After your father died, Evan took you under his wing and showed you all there was to know about real estate. Oh, by the way, one achievement I should let you know right away is there's an achievement for actually playing through the whole game with commentary on. So there's that. That's one of the first achievements you can start to get, at least at this point. Blackboard lists the number of monthly sales made by each of the employees. You are currently in the lead with 27. So yeah, he's pretty good, Alfie Banks, at the whole real estate business. Let's go check
He says
those
it's
leads.
because my sales were too low. But how am I supposed to make sales if I don't get any decent leads?
I hear you. It hasn't been very easy for me.
You
either.
listening in?
And just because Golden Boy gets all the good leads, it doesn't mean...
Shut your trap. Somebody's coming.
Gentlemen,
Hello, Banks. Your meeting with Morris go well?
I would say so, yes.
Great to hear. Well, Murphy and I better get back to work.
But yeah, if you choose to fire Murphy instead, then it'll be Murphy talking, saying, he said this about me. Someday you hope to earn enough to take a vacation in Paris. For now, this poster will have to do. The water cooler is the perfect place to get a cool drink, have a chat with your coworkers, or both. Well, I'm not a big fan of my coworkers right now. But oh well, as long as we're earning the big bucks, we should be good. And there's no reason to do that, just an extra little animation you can do. The assignment board contains each individual employee's set of leads for the day. Morris usually gives out the more promising ones to employees with better performance, which is usually you. And that's fair, you gotta earn your keep. You can't just expect everything to be handed to you like these guys seem to think. You scan the sheet of leads corresponding to you, making a mental note of the names and phone numbers. You prepare for another day at work. Alright, let's get to it.
Time to make some magic. Operator, connect me to the Stamford residence in Bensonhurst, if you would, please. Hello, is this Ms. Irene Stamford? Yes, hello, this is Alfred Banks calling from Morris & Banks. I just wanted to follow up on the deposit you put down in the apartment in Flatbush. No, thank you very much, Mr. Contis. A pleasure doing business with you. 5 sales in 30 minutes. I think that might be a new record.
Good job.
Alfie, can you come here a moment?
What is it, Evan?
I'm running late for the weekly shareholders meeting. Could you lock up my office for me?
Of course.
Here's the key. I'll be back shortly.
Whoa.
What on earth was that?
That sounds like Murphy took a spill in there.
But yeah, also if you chose Murphy instead of Suggs, then it'd be Murphy out here and Suggs in there. But like I said, it's really not much difference. Anyway, let's lock up the door before we go in there, because I don't trust Suggs. And see what the heck is going on.
Hey, give me a shout if you need any help in there.
Murphy, what's going on?
Just being a damn clumsy fool. Don't worry about me. I was trying to change the light bulb and I lost my balance.
Here, let me help you clean up.
Thanks for the help, Banks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to work.
That was a bit odd.
But I'm just going to point something out here. Our inventory is empty right now. Just remember that. Anyway, sit back at your desk and prepare to make some more calls.
Hey, Banks, I had a question about this client.
I'm back, Alfie. Got my key?
Yes, Evan, it's right. Odd. I thought I'd put it in my other pocket. Anyway, here you are.
Alfie,
Yes?
where are tomorrow's leads?
I beg your pardon?
The leads for tomorrow? The ones that were on my desk? They're no longer on my desk. Where have they gone?
I have no idea. I haven't been in your office since this morning.
You know I trust you 100%, Alfie, but this is a very serious matter.
I'm aware of it. Look, I'll get Suggs and Murphy together and we'll look for them.
Or maybe we could just skip the drama if you look under Banks's hat, sir.
What?
We both saw you, Banks. There's no need to put on a charade.
Coming clean will save us all a lot of embarrassment.
Is what they're saying true, Alfie?
What? No, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Then you won't mind me looking under your hat? Just to be sure you understand.
See for yourself.
Alfie, really? You of all people?
What? You just said you trusted me 100%, and that happens, and... So what can you do? Well, it's obviously their fault.
It was obviously Suggs and Murphy. They've set me up.
Really, Banks? That's low.
You're one to talk about low. How can you even look me in the eye?
Now, Alfie, I know you're upset, but blaming your coworkers isn't the thing to do.
It's their fault.
It is if they're the ones at fault.
Alfie, look at it from my perspective. The leads were in my office when I left and gone when I came back. You were the only one with the key, and now they show up under your hat. What would you do in my shoes?
So does this mean I've been canned?
I hate to do this, Alfie. You know your father and I were great friends, and you've been an asset to this company. But for now, I think you should take an indefinite leave of absence.
Fine. I see how it is. I guess I'll see you fellas around.
Hey, no hard feelings, Banks. Here you go. See? It ain't even wooden.
Jerk.
Taking an early lunch, Mr. Banks?
No, Sure. Just taking an early lunch.
Well, if you need anything to read while you eat, I still got plenty of papers left.
So that sucks, but yeah, if you notice, your key was not in your inventory.
It's in Vienna.
when you were in that room.
Read all about it. Newspapers.
But yeah, these are
5
actually
cents.
real news articles, by the way, that he's shouting. But yeah, so he actually pickpocketed the key when you went in there and slipped it back in. If you could actually go in and not lock the door.
Papers, get your papers
And,
here. 5 cents per copy.
With that, then, it's just more or less ends up the same. You help the guy, then you're like, oh, I forgot to lock up the office. But no matter what, it just ends up the same way, so there's nothing you can really do. Anyway, we have a nickel here.
Papers, get your papers here. 5 cents per copy.
Don't suppose the news of the day can be any worse than the morning I've had. Let me have a paper, please.
That'll be a nickel.
Thanks, Lau. Murder, extortion, robbery, par for the course in this city. What's this? Merrick making waves in Florida?
Article explains that there is currently a very promising land boom in the Miami area, especially with regard to development known as Coral Gables. It goes on to state that the project leader, one Georgie Merrick, is currently hiring a team of real estate salesmen to assist in this monumental undertaking. And by the way, interesting fact, the newspaper guy, originally it was actually supposed to be a newspaper box, and you were supposed to put the nickel in there and get the newspaper, but those weren't invented until 1940, so Francisco Gonzalez had to really quick make up a new character, get another voice actor, make up a character portrait, all that stuff, but that's just an interesting thing.
Miami, eh? I've always heard that place was nothing more than glorified swampland. But I'll be damned if I'm just gonna roll over and freeze to death up here. When I'm finished down there, the name Banks will finally mean something again. So, Mr. Merrick, let's just see what you've got to offer.
And so we begin Chapter 1, Florida, the Treasure Land.
Hello, Miami. Alfie Banks. Huzzah! Oh, horse feathers. This humidity is something else. Right. I've got my luggage claim ticket. Now I just need to find this Hotel Belmont and...
Hey there! Hello!
Are you speaking to me, sir?
You see anybody else around, son? Come on over here and have a chat with old Doc Dammers, why don't you?
And so we have our first actual historical character, Doc Dammers.
Are you deaf there, son? I said I wanted to have
And
a
he'll
chat.
keep bugging you until you talk to him. But what does he have to say, and what can we find here in Florida? Well, you're just going to have to find out next time on Let's Play A Golden Wake. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.